Hostage, a Todd Mills mystery, book 3 in the series. Arthur R.D. Zimmerman, publisher, Scribble Pub. Narrator, Eric Aust. Chapter 40. The phenomenon of the hostage rescue team kicked into full gear. Ferried by a convoy of blue vans, Wayne Morrish, Dr. John Ogden, and the 50 members of the HRT arrived 5 minutes after Maurice Cochran. The first thing Morrish did was to establish a command post at an information desk by one of the small entrances. The second was to summon the head of the small security force. "Hello, I'm Dick Russell, head of security over here, and..." Morrish looked up at the gray-haired man and said, "I want the building evacuated immediately. Don't set off any of the alarms. Just get everyone out of here at once." "Yes, sir. That includes your staff as well. We'll take care of the interior. You and the local police will assume responsibility for the outer perimeter. I don't want anyone coming in, and for God's sake, once the place has been evacuated, I don't want anyone coming out." "Absolutely," said Russell, turning away. "Wait, I want the head of your maintenance department here right away, and I want a complete set of blueprints for the entire building, including specifications for doors, walls, and a complete layout of the air conditioning ducts." "Of course." Russell vanished, and Morrish looked over as Dr. Ogden distributed a small color photograph of Congressman Clarendon to all the members of the HRT. Gathered in the lobby, the men were fully operational and dressed in their black utilities, from Kevlar helmets to goggles to the MP5 submachine guns each of them clutched. "Okay, listen up," called Morrish. "I want sniper teams posted at each of the 4 corners of the building and on each of the 4 floors. You, Smith, Wharton, Reynolds, Krupinski, organize the teams. Study the photo," said Dr. Ogden, raising his voice. "Study the man. This is him. This is Clarendon. And as soon as you come in contact with the kidnappers, call it in. I want to know everything. How they move, how they talk, anything indicative of their stress levels. Demolition team over there and assault teams over there," said Morrish, pointing to opposite corners. "We don't know whether this is going to be a dynamic entry or a stealth entry, but we need you ready. Be prepared for anything, and don't forget the danger involved here. Each of you has been issued a pair of latex gloves, and I want you to put them on now. Our targets have AIDS and should be considered extremely contagious. You must exercise extreme caution and avoid contact with their blood. We have an emergency medical team just outside, and they have full protective gear. Leave any and all medical emergencies to them. Lastly, remember we have just one priority today, and his name is Congressman Johnny Clarendon. Nothing and no one else matters until he is safe." Suddenly, a blonde woman with a bandage around her head burst through the doors, half jogging. Behind her was a man carrying a video camera and a variety of other equipment. "Ah, Christ," thought Morrish. The last thing they needed was television coverage. "Out!" shouted Morrish, pushing toward them. "Get that camera out of here." "I'm Cindy Wilson from WTCN TV, countered the woman, "and we got a call from the kidnappers telling us to come here. I really don't think you..." Morrish looked over, saw another reporter, and yet another photographer pushing through the doors, and blazing on their camera was Channel 8, and pushing behind them came yet a third reporter. "Ah, Jesus," muttered Morrish, shaking his head and knowing they'd all have the same story. Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold: to offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides, and in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.